And welcome to channel KT4. It's good to be here, eventually. And we're broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube. You can join in by sending in questions during the show. Please press the comments button on the screen. Don't forget to click the like or share buttons. If you're watching on YouTube, please click to subscribe to channel KT4. I'm very excited as today is the start of my European musical extravaganza, where for the whole summer, I'll be, well, virtually, of course, traveling around Europe, visiting some of my many European friends and talking about their music. To introduce my first European guest, let's welcome him with a Swedish fanfare. Swedish Cavalry band, Jürgen Kornström. Welcome, Jürgen, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Graham. I'm honored.
No, it's me who's honored. It's great to catch up with you again. It seems such a long time since we've been together. I remember some wonderful times in Stockholm.
We also met in the southern parts of Sweden at the Ystad Tattoo many years ago. And we also had the fortune to have you as a guest conductor a couple of years ago for the Cavalry band. So it's great to see you again.
No, thank you, Eugene. And yes, having said that, it was great fun conducting the Cavalry band, but I also conducted on another occasion the Army band. And I also got to conduct the Swedish Navy Cadet Band, which was also really, really good. So I've really enjoyed my visits to Sweden, probably about 5 or 6 visits now, which is really, really good. Yes. So it's good. How's the weather in Sweden today?
The weather is actually great. We have sun and almost no clouds on the heaven. And people are starting to go to the beach. So it's getting better for every day. I have also started to use my barbecue. It's really
well, it's always good when the barbecue comes out. I'm afraid, I'm on the outskirts of London, Eugene, and today we've just had a downpour all afternoon. So I think the barbecue's going to have to wait a while.
Okay. I see.
Okay, so Eugene, there are 3 professional bands in the Swedish military.
Exactly. We have sorry.
Okay.
We have one big wind band in Stockholm, and band of the Royal Swedish Army, which is our biggest band. It consists of, and they are responsible for changing of the guard ceremonies and state visits.
Okay,
yeah, here we have them.
Okay, and this picture's this is at the Royal Palace in Stockholm, isn't it?
Right, during the changing of the guard ceremony.
Okay, and you also have in Stockholm, you have your band.
Yes, this is the Royal Swedish Cavalry Band, and it consists of 30 musicians. And we do a lot of parades, both on horseback at the Royal Palace and also marching displays and parades. So we have different tasks of the horses as well as being a musician.
So tell me if you can. I'm fascinated. Who's the guy with the timpani, with the kettle drums?
That's actually me a couple of years ago when I was drummer and percussionist in this band.
Oh wow, that's pretty amazing. But I have to say, for me, I've always been in infantry or cavalry, but not mounted. Bandmaster come director of music throughout my career. Whilst I was with the household division, I had responsibility for the cavalry band, but I always left it to the director of music of the cavalry band because it's a special black belt art, isn't it? I mean, to play, to perform, to look after those horses. I salute you all.
Oh, thank you. Well, it is very special. Definitely. You have to, in our case, in the Royal Swedish Cavalry Band, we learn all the music by heart because we can't really carry the scores in our pockets or in a bag. So we need to know every piece by heart and where one hand to play the instrument and the other hand to steer the horse, except for the timpani player because he's feet.
Okay. You also have, I believe, I don't know whether my facts are up to date here, but about 26 home guard marching bands in Sweden.
We have approximately 25, 30 home guards or bands all across our.
Okay. I actually have here a little bit of footage of the cavalry band performing at the Royal Palace. Can you mind if I show it? Truly amazing. It's always a very good thing to watch. And I remember I was invited at one time to the rehearsal of the King's birthday parade at the Royal Palace, and I had a very special vantage point from a little office at the side, and watched the whole parade as a rehearsal, which was truly an honor.
Yes, and what is fascinating when you see the change of the guards in Stockholm, so close to the troops and bands, have no fence, very close, and listen to the almost feeling yourself.
Yeah, no, that is the difference. At Buckingham Palace, we've got the fence, which is actually makes the viewing of the parade not as good or as easy as it is at the Royal Palace in Stockholm. Now, you did promise to show me a couple of places where you'd like to take me whilst I'm with you over in Stockholm. So where are we going to go to first?
Yes, I suggested we're going to the Vasa Museum, and the Vasa ship was a ship that was constructed during the 30-year-old war between, among other countries, Sweden and Germany. And the king at that time, Gustavus Adolphus, he wanted to create a strong naval warship was constructed. Unfortunately, the ship was at sea for 15 minutes and then sank in the Swedish archipelago and was not brought till 333 years later. So It's a huge Swedish military fiasco that we have made a museum of. I can really recommend a visit because you get a great view of the life in the 1600s.
I think also you get the whole ship is there inside the museum, which is something quite spectacular. I've got a picture of it here. Truly amazing.
And it's almost intact. And you have guns and you have the ropes, and it's really a piece of art, even though it wasn't really functioning for warfare.
Because actually, the picture that we're looking at the moment, that looks awfully like a model, but actually that is life size. It's truly incredible.
Yeah, that's the real ship. I think 1600. It's nice.
But it sounds truly outstanding and amazing. So where else would you like to show me?
Well, another museum in another form is Skansen, which is considered to be the world's largest outdoor museum. And the reason why it exists is that a man called Arthur Hazelius, in the end of the 19th century, started to collect old Swedish culture and traditions, and also buildings, because he was afraid that the old Swedish way of living and the history would disappear. So now we can go to this museum and see old buildings with actors dressed in folk costumes, and it's also a zoo where you can see, for example, and of course, when you're in Sweden, moose. The moose is almost a national symbol for Sweden.
Yeah. You also have, I've found this, which you talked about people being in costume and reenacting. Here's a picture.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so show times where in Sweden.
Yeah, one of the things I learned when I was looking at the two wonderful places you've just shown me is that actually if you go online to both those places, you can virtually now travel around. So you can go into the museum where it is, and you can go into the Skansen, and you can go around and learn so much online now. There's so many little videos of different parts. I think how the two tourist authorities or the museum curators and everything put all that together is actually something quite remarkable.
Definitely, I totally agree.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's incredible. I just want to say thank you for taking me around and showing me all those wonderful places. And certainly, it's whet my appetite for when I get back to Sweden and Stockholm in better times, so that I can go and visit those wonderful places, as well as maybe doing a little bit of music to go with it. So I think tremendous.
You are more than welcome back, Graham.
Okay, thank you. That's very, very kind of you. Now, I think the other thing we have to talk about, we've just had a wonderful moment there, but it's difficult times globally. And I found it interesting. Different people are talking to the Americans and how they're coping with performance. There are various studies being done. There are various forums. I've spoken to people in the UK and how very cleverly they're getting around or thinking about how they can get their bands back together to rehearse. And one of the bands, which is the Brentwood Youth Band, which are very, very good friends with the Swedish Navy Cadet Band, they've got a band of 100 musicians, Eugene. And what they're doing is they've now social distanced in the rehearsal room and put 35 musicians spaced by, at the moment, in the UK, it's 2 meters, not the same as Sweden where it's 1 meter. So we've got to keep 2 meters apart at the moment. And so they've managed to achieve that in the rehearsal room. So they're just waiting for the green light. And what they're going to be doing is 3 times a week, they're going to have 35 musicians on Monday, a different 35 on Tuesday, a different 35 on Wednesday. I think that's quite innovative, and it's kind of like thinking out of the box. Also, at the same time, doing quintets. And I've noticed a couple of quintets coming out from Sweden with Swedish folk singers, which have been very, very good as well. So, having said that, what are you doing in Sweden? What's the thinking about this?
Well, if I take, for example, in my band, we have done a lot of concerts and also parades that we have filmed and put up on Facebook and Instagram. We have also we went away with a quintet a couple of weeks ago and played for our fans. We have, for example, a man, survivor of the Holocaust, and he was one of our biggest fans. So we came to his house and he was on his balcony and we played him and his neighbor. Unfortunately, that man died a couple of days after our, but it felt very well that we could. We have also visited a lot of other former retired military musicians, played in their gardens, keeping distance. And well, that's pretty much what we can do now. To rehearse, as you said, by keeping distance.
Yeah, I think so. Usually, I pick up a little clip of the musicians from the 3 professional bands doing a performance. And I think I'm right in it's Under the Blue and Yellow Flag. Is that the correct title?
The Blue and Yellow Flag, exactly.
Okay. So here's a very short clip of it. I hope everybody enjoys it. I think it's been very, very well put together. Brilliant, absolutely superb. So, well done for all the musicians for that great performance. Eugene, I really don't know where the time's gone. But sadly, it's already time to say goodbye. Thanks for coming in on the show and being such a great guest. And I really do look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you for inviting me. It was an honor.
Absolutely my pleasure, Eugene. Thank you. Say hello to all my friends in Sweden, and I hope they all keep well.
Yes, same to you, all the people in Great Britain.
Thank you, Eugene. Next week, I'll be in another city of Europe. However, I'm still sort of working on the travel. Until then, thank you for watching Channel KT4 International. Until the next time, stay alert and stay safe.